This is Soccer with Coach Mark Davis.
Had the opportunity to get 10 minutes with him after he was looking at a couple of my players at Salt Lake Community College. Was interested in a handful of those boys, potentially going down the road to play for him and Coach Steve Sampson, who coached in the World Cup in 1998 for the U.S. Billy's accomplished a lot in his life, coaching soccer, playing soccer. He played professionally for Rangers Football Club in Scotland. After he was done playing for the Rangers, he moved to Utah to play in the North American Soccer League. And as he was playing in the North American Soccer League, he ended up becoming the Utah State Technical Director for the state of Utah. After he was the State Technical Director, he became the U.S. Youth National Team and actually had the opportunity to coach DeMarcus Beasley, Landon Donovan, Kyle Beckerman, some real soccer pioneers, some real soccer legends, and then went on to become the assistant coach for the LA Galaxy in 2005, ended up winning an MLS Cup for them, and is currently an NCAA Division I assistant coach for Cal Poly. In this interview, we talk a lot about what it takes to become a good manager, good youth coach, good professional coach, and a player as well. I think you'll really enjoy this interview. Billy is really a United States soccer pioneer and has helped develop some of the best players in this country, and also is just a great, great coach. And I think you'll really enjoy this listen.
Form leagues and small-sided games and gave some free advice as you do. But basically I was just waiting for more indoor opportunities at the time, but this full-time job landed on my lap. And when I say full-time, I use that in air quotes because it was a lot of hours for a little money.
What? That's traditional for an up and coming soccer coach.
Typical soccer, yeah.
So if you're a young soccer coach listening to this podcast right now, say he's 24, just graduated, what advice would you give that young man or young lady?
I give the same advice to all the young coaches starting out there. You gotta coach as much as you can. To me, it is a parallel to playing. Play as often as you can with as different groups of and teams as you can, and the more you do it, the better you become at it. And you'll find that the exercises transfer quite well. You just either speed it up or open up the spaces or whatever, but you've got to coach good teams, bad teams, boys teams, girls teams, men's teams, kids teams. You've just got to do it all, and you formulate this catalog of ideas and sensibilities and just your own identity of this is how I like my soccer teams to play.
So you've been in the United States since 75?
Since 76.
76.
Yeah.
What differences have you seen from 76 to 2019? What are some major differences you've seen?
Well, just the idea of the sport being embraced now. When I got to the Valley, soccer was played like a club sport in the high schools, but it wasn't legitimized as a letter sport, if you will. Facilities, my goodness, the pro team we had didn't have a place to practice. We used to practice out past the fairgrounds there was a field, I forget, maybe Riverside Park or something it's called. We used to practice there, and nobody knew who we were. The pro team at the time, the Spikers, I think we played in 3 or 4 different high schools. We might even have had a game or two in Rice Eccles, but we were all over the place, just trying to get a foothold to let people know who we were. Standing in the malls before the games, literally handing out tickets just for people to come and see us who we were. So it was a novelty then. It's certainly not a novelty anymore. Having been involved in MLS with the Galaxy, MLS is a great business. It's a great business plan. The owners do very well from it. The players are making a living now. They're certainly not in a par with the big European clubs and such. But considering that the league's barely 20 odd years old, they've done very well.
So you helped win the double in what year?
That was 2005.
2005. Remind me, who were the special players on that team in 2005?
Oh, with a young kid that I had the benefit of picking. I was in '95, so 10 years before that, I was named as the under-16 youth national team coach for the boys' side there. And a couple of players I identified. One, the local people will know here, was Kyle Beckerman.
Sure.
Had a pretty good career, I think. My favourite player was a kid called DeMarcus Beasley, who I think is the only outfield player to ever play in 4 World Cups.
Did you hear he just signed another?
Yeah,
he's still current.
Who lives by the credo. I think I remember telling him that play as long as you can. Well, I think he's going to play till he's 50. But the name that came out of that team, and rightly so, he's probably, to me, still the best player we've produced in the country, is Landon Donovan. And so Landon came to the Galaxy right after I joined them too, and we had a fantastic year. We won the double, like you said. We also won the Classico, which was our big rival there, was Chivas USA, and the Western Division Championship. The only trophy we didn't win was the Supporter Shield, and that was understandable because we had so many national team players, Landon included, but we kids from Costa Rica and kids from Guatemala who would go and try to qualify for the World Cup. So we never had our full team or our best team available for us through the bulk of the season. But once they all came back from qualifying, you know how MLS works, you just got to make the playoffs. And we snuck in as the last place team from the West, or the last place qualifying team, and went on a roll, and a month later we were crowned champions down in Texas.
Is that when the MLS West had to play through the East bracket?
No, we played ourselves. We actually beat San Jose, Colorado, and then San Jose, or vice versa, to qualify for the final. And the final was against New England, who were the favourites. New England was loaded with Dempsey and a bunch
Taylor.
of those guys. Taylor Twellman was the striker. They were a solid team too, and it was we scored we beat them in overtime down in Texas.
So I got 2 more things for you. I gotta ask, favorite derby moment against Celtic?
Oh, so many there. As long as it's a W for the Rangers, that's a favorite moment there.
Awesome. Last question, and it's similar to the question I just asked you about as a coach, as a young player, because everyone's looking to develop. If you're 6 years old, or if you're 21 and you're now saying, okay, I'm looking to try to get a pro contract, or hey, I'm 18 and I'm trying to get my footing in and getting a college scholarship. What's your advice? What's your advice to a young man or young lady there?
I think the single biggest thing you need is the desire. People can show you this kick, this move, this skill, whatever, but if you don't want to go out there when no one else is training, then it's not going to happen for you. You've got to go out there when the cameras are not rolling, basically. And I often say to the kids, and I definitely said this when I was scouting for US soccer, was, well, go prove me wrong. If I don't think you're good enough right now, that's an opinion, and it will be proven to be good or bad down the road there. But you will prove me wrong if you say, I'm not going to let him tell me today I'll never be good. I might have had a bad game today, but I know I'm better than that. And that certainly paralleled my own playing there. I mean, I grew up in a real small town in Scotland. It wasn't around the big clubs by any stretch of imagination. You had to earn the right for the big clubs to come and get you. And so you just keep trying to play above the grade that you're at that time. And don't blame coaches for, oh, he never gave me a chance. Or the cream will rise. If you're a good player, you're going to be seen to be a good player at some point.
That's awesome. Great advice. Thank you, Billy, for sitting down and chatting with us for a couple minutes.
Happy to do it.
You're the man.
This is Soccer with Coach Mark Davis.